This might be a difficult video to make, thinking about relationship paradigms that we find ourselves in and how society currently is handling relationships. It's a bit messy. So currently, I've seen a rise in polyamory, ethical non-monogamy, and for me, relationships come in various shapes and sizes. I don't believe there's a one size fits all for any type of relationship, because to me, relationships are contracts, but some of it is unspoken. We all have like the basic understanding of relationships should be built on trust and honesty. Great communication is a benefit as well. But now it feels like, I guess it always has felt like, humans, we like to spread our beliefs and we don't like anything that we don't believe is right. We're very strong-headed in our ideals. And I see that currently in some communities that are developing a more open relationship status. And a lot of people, some Instagram pages are looking down on monogamy or hierarchical ethical non-monogamy. There's various dogmas that are arising currently about what is right for relationships and what isn't. Besides the basics of honesty, trust, communication, the basics foundations of any relationship, besides those, the minute details of how you carry out a relationship is solely up to the parties involved. And I see that a lot of couples are going to these pages looking for advice on how they should pursue these non-monogamous situations and just being flooded with dogma. But in all honesty, whether you're monogamous or non-monogamous, the basic foundation of a relationship still should remain honesty, trust, communication, and of course, love. So there's no one right shape for a relationship. Relationship can consist of just two people, can consist of 3 people, 4 people. What matters most is the understanding, the groundwork, the foundation of those relationships that we tend to ignore. The most valuable part you play in a relationship is always going to be your personal healing. It's always going to be your personal health. The healthier you are, the better partner you are to your singular partner or to your many partners. I find that the dynamics that we have, we don't understand what we're getting and what our value is in them. A lot of people don't realize that they're in relationships for validation and not really for a long-term bond or to build something together. It's fine once you realize what you're in it for. Am I in this relationship to build something long-term, or am I in here because I want someone to love me? We delude ourselves into thinking that we want a long-term relationship with one person. But in reality, the googly eyes, butterfly feeling, these feelings, though they are nice, are not necessarily what we think they are. A lot of these bubbly feelings are usually feelings attributed to twin flames or like a mirror. Easier to understand if you're not in a spiritual realm. These bubbly feelings is familiarity. This is someone who your trauma understands. It's familiar. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel excited, especially if they're attractive. More bubbles, more butterflies. And we delude ourselves into thinking, this is the person for us. While feelings are important and that we should acknowledge them, I think is even more important to acknowledge why they are there and where they actually come from. Because relationships, yes, it's nice to have love for your partner, but love is it's more than feeling, Love is action as well. You love many people, but our romantic love that we feel that has been fed to us by modern society is what we praise the most. It's what's held up in high regard. And a lot of that romantic feeling is usually just validation. Romance is great for bonding. I'm not going to tell you not. In days of arranged marriages, those structures worked because they understood that it was a contract. They understood that this person is going to be their partner and they're going to build something together. They were on a growth trajectory. Long-term partnership should always be a growth trajectory. We are always meeting people as our incomplete selves. Romance plays a role in this trajectory in keeping you intimate, keeping you cohesive. That's the role of romance. But romance in of itself cannot be the foundation of a relationship. And I find like that's how we decide our future partners these days, based on romantic feelings, how they make us feel. Do they make us feel good? We have this obsession with if it doesn't feel good, it isn't right, which is absolutely crazy. Because what feels good to us? Yes, there's a sense of joy and peace that comes from your spirit, from your soul, from your deep foundation. But there's also the feel good that comes from excess pleasure that our trauma feeds on. So the concept of romance and partnership is usually, or has been usually, attributed to couples and their life together. Now it's being expanded. Now we have things like polycules. And these things are another level of complication. The more people you have in a relationship, the more opinions you have to consider. And you have to wonder for yourself, if you're considering entering polyamory, there are various types of polyamory. You have ethical non-monogamy, which is usually a couple who are more open to having others engage with them romantically. And then there's the open polyamory, where it's more anyone is free to connect with everyone. Ethical non-monogamy is what I guess I would be more willing to talk about in this video, simply because I'm a married man, and from the beginning of my relationship with my wife, we've never held strong monogamous views on life. We never believed that there is one person that you should only love. They never believed love was like a very like fixed thing where it's like your heart, your emotions, they all change throughout life. What me and my wife understood is that we wanted a growth partner, someone to go through life with. We're going to have a partnership, a marriage. We're going to go through this life together. We're going to experience things together. We're going to grow together. But we never deluded ourselves into thinking that we will never feel anything. We would never feel arousal for another person. We would never feel love for another person. It's a great delusion that we feel like our emotions are so controlled by us, when in reality, we are controlled by our emotions. So understanding that concept, that no matter who you are, you will find other people that you find interesting and you find attractive and you want to connect with. Understand that. And then if you're in a monogamous relationship, discuss it, analyze it. Ask yourself, if your partner finds someone else attractive or has feelings for someone else, how does that make you feel? Do you feel like that person doesn't love you anymore? Because a lot of it is egoic greediness. We get jealous. We feel unworthy. Those are all core things that every human should address at some point. But in relationships, it's blown up to bigger proportions. We feel a sense of ownership with another person. I don't feel a sense of ownership to my wife at all. I don't own another human being. I don't own my wife. Even with kids, when I have kids, I don't own them per se. They came with their own agenda. They came with their own plan, their own life chart. I was just the avenue to facilitate their adventure into this world. But I'm not going to be like, follow my rules of, let's say I was religious. I'm like, follow my rules of Christianity. You have to do this. It's not my prerogative. I'm not here to own someone. I'm here to grow. I'm here to learn. I'm here to expand my awareness. But yes, the internet right now has expanded. The world has expanded. That means ideas and ideologies have expanded as well. And just because you live in a small island or a small country where you used to be held by the ideals of the society you're in, now you have a bigger picture of what's out there. You can see more, understand more, you have more knowledge now. And that opens up your minds to possibilities. And polyamory and non-monogamy entered our reality the more aware we are. Back then, people just cheated, plain and simple. People just stick to their rigorous appearance of monogamous. And when they had feelings or sexual attraction, they just cheated. And we criticize these people, we blame these people, we point fingers. And when you do that to something that needs looking at, it will never heal. You don't look at your cut and be like, bad cut. You know? The issue was not attraction for someone else or like feelings for someone else. The issue was dishonesty. Because they did not feel safe in their paradigm. They didn't feel safe to talk about it. And we end up in messy situations that way. So the push for polyamory and ethical non-monogamy, I think people want authenticity in their feelings. And whether you're monogamous or not, if you don't feel safe, you will lie. You will cheat. And yes, you can cheat in non-monogamous situations. It depends on the rules of the non-monogamous situation. Because remember, relationships are just contracts. You have to know yourself and who you're with, and they have to know themselves as well. Otherwise, no matter what the paradigm you enter, it will always be messy. There's no better for polyamory. There's no better for monogamy. They're all just agreements on how best you choose to love and how you want to grow with a person or persons. Or if you just want to grow with one person and have fun with other persons. We are very nuanced beings, and we have to take our relationships with some nuance. Give them the space to be different. Give yourself the space to be different, while keeping the core values of truth and honesty there for yourself, for your partners. And don't get too caught up on the dogma. It's like we jump from one hole to the next. 1 minute, oh, monogamy is too constrained. Next minute, this is the right way to do it. Let's do polyamory. Cut that bullshit. There's no one right way to do it. It's always an agreement between you and whoever else you're involved with. Do you want to be polyamorous? Do you want to be monogamous? Find someone who agrees with that contract. It's a lot of dogma out there on what is right. It's up to you to determine what's right for you. Like my content if you enjoyed. Leave a comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching.